I'm starting to watch more reality competition shows, not just the Korean ones, and some of them are pissing me off. There is nothing I hate more than when eliminations are determined by either a popularity contest or alliances of weak bitches who cravenly scheme to get the strongest players out of the game early. Wow, that guy won the first challenge. Let's all team up and vote his ass out. Just say you're a fucking loser. Just admit on semi-real reality TV that you joined the competition knowing full well you could never honestly make it past 7th place because you're a lacquer. You lack the strength, you lack the smarts, you got on TV to show the audience that you're straight up lacking in every respect. Hi guys, my name's Haley, you have 5 guesses on how it's spelled and you'll need all of them, and I'm here to be positively mediocre in direct defiance of talent and skill. Don't be too good, or me and my legion of skanks will team up on you. Dudes do it too, that's just the example I went with. I don't like when games have social aspects that rely on you pretending you suck ass so you're not seen as a threat. It's so fake. Netflix has this show called Battle Camp they just added, where it's a bunch of familiar faces that have been on other Netflix reality shows, basically starting their own cinematic universe. It's crazy to me that reality competition star is a title that can continually get you work. You've got people bouncing around from show to show, and it's like, dude, give me that slot instead. How are you making a career out of living in 4 different campgrounds and mansions every year? Those are the only 2 places that exist, by the way. You're either roasting marshmallows after betraying your teammate or eating caviar poolside while pretending to flirt with a musclehead for protection. So in the first episode of Battle Camp, there's 3 teams, and they do a challenge, blah blah, 1 team wins. This means 3 people from the 2 other teams can be chosen by the winning team to participate in an individual punishment challenge. So 3 people get chosen, and it's just whoever can do a wall sit against a pole the longest. No big deal. Wouldn't prove a whole lot either way. But you want to win that punishment, because otherwise your name goes on this big wheel that they spin at the end of every night, and whatever name it lands on goes home. And you can have your name on there multiple times if you lose multiple things or if people vote for you because they're cowards. So there's like a huge dilemma with the strats here, because if you win the punishment, you keep your name off the wheel, but you actually don't, because then everyone's going to be threatened by your grit and determination, and they're all going to vote for you and put your name on the wheel 7 more times, 1 for each vote. It's just so pussified. Oh no, someone leaned against a tree for a long time. Get her ass out of here. She's too strong. If there is incentive to lose in your competition show, you're doing it wrong. Every time they show the people voting one by one for whoever they're voting for, and they're like, I'm voting for blank because he's a strong player and I want to improve my chances of winning. I hope you get electrocuted until you're nothing but a strong smell. People are bitching their way into hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's insane. It also sucks because these shows are like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I mean, not for the people who do 3 a year, but generally it's the highlight of most people's lives. Now imagine you got the call that you're going to be on one of these things. You fly out, you put your job on hold, you say goodbye to your friends and family, you arrive at a specialized luxury destination to play a game for a potentially life-changing amount of money. You do well on the first day. You feel like you've got a knack for this. You think there's a good chance you can make it all the way to the final. And you get voted out day 1 because a few pieces of shit were like, I'm not as good as him. He needs to go so I can still get 9th. Fuck these people and fuck these games. I did still end up watching the rest of Battle Camp, and that show in particular has even more bullshit associated with it, since if the wheel lands on your name, you're gone, even if you were just unlucky and other people had their name on it way more than you did. 2 people went home because their names were on it once, when other people had like 7 or 8 and skated by. So in a game that is already plagued by social contagion and doing bad on purpose and forming alliances to knock out people better than you, they decided the one element they simply had to also have was random chance. Koreans do it better, dude. Watch Physical 100, watch Devil's Plan, watch Culinary Class Wars. They aren't completely devoid of my pet peeves. Devil's Plan still has alliances, and Physical 100 cuts too many people too fast. But it's so much more entertaining to watch shows where the winner is generally going to be the person who did the best, even if it's not who you're rooting for. One American show that I actually think is doing a great job that I started watching recently, and I'm very late to the party on this, but it's Hell's Kitchen. I watched the most recent season, and there was an episode where the red team lost, and as a team they had to decide which 2 people to nominate for elimination, where Gordon Ramsay then decides which one of them goes home, and they objectively did not pick the 2 people who did the worst during their dinner service, which is the most important metric to be judging by. And Gordon Ramsay literally told the two nominees to get back in line, and he called out the cook who was actually the worst and eliminated her on the spot. She had had her food sent back like 3 times for being raw or undercooked or overcooked, and her ditzy ass team nominated the person working next to her instead for not helping her enough. So for Gordon to overrule their decision was such satisfying justice that I'm like, why do so many competition shows design their whole philosophy around being completely unfair? Every show should have a judge or judges that watch closely what's happening and don't let them pull any bullshit, like snake detectors hidden in the grass that can sense slithering from 100 feet away. I'm voting out the strongest competitor. Shut up, serpent. This is a no shedding zone. Hold your forked tongue and sidewind on out of here. I know how it goes if I go on a reality show. I'm the guy who tries to play an honest game and is like the third person to go home after I turn down an alliance and make no friends. Regardless of how well I do at the actual challenges, people will be like, wow, this guy's not very social. He's not making eye contact. He's shifty. Let's kill him. To be clear, I'm not the guy that goes on a show and decides to be rude to everyone. Like, I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to win. Do you have to be an asshole to win? I'm not seeing the correlation. I am, however, probably the guy who makes a relatively tame joke that ostracizes me from the group anyway, because they'll have to pretend it's not funny because they're on TV, and then the show will make that like a whole event that paints me into an annoying villain. At least one girl will go into their interview booth and say, wow, read the room, man, what was that? And then 3 dudes will chime in their interviews like, that was not funny, bro. So they can still get good guy nudes in their Instagram DMs. Some random OnlyFans girls will slide in there like, that was so cool of you to call out that weird guy's joke. Want a discount? Or if it's not a joke that gets me in hot water, it would probably just be me saying retarded. And then we'd see once and for all how valid the TISM card is. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Watch all my other videos while rattling your tails, and I'll see you guys next time.